A new batch of F-16 fighters is being prepared for transfer to Ukraine. This was stated by the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, head of the U.S. European Command, U.S. Army General Christopher Cavoli, during a hearing in the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee. According to him, in addition to the aircraft that have already been transferred, more fighters are being prepared and the training program for Ukrainian pilots is being expanded. There are more F-16s ready to be deployed there. There are more pilots in training, Cavoli said. The general emphasized that Ukrainian forces are already using F-16s to defend the sky. Fighters are used to intercept Russian missiles and to launch offensive strikes. At the same time, Cavoli clarified that none of the aircraft transferred to Ukraine came directly from the United States. However, none of the F-16s were from the US. They were mostly from northern European countries, the Netherlands and Denmark, Cavoli added. On March the 19th, President Volodymyr Zelenski confirmed that a new shipment of F-16 fighter jets arrived in Ukraine. Previously, Ukrainian officials said more F-16 fighter jets are expected to arrive in Ukraine this year. Currently still serving as the unquestioned backbone of the United States Air Force's combat fighter fleet, the F-16 Fighting Falcon is currently approaching 5 full decades of operational combat service. The aircraft currently has a strong production backlog, meaning that deliveries will undoubtedly continue into the near future. One of the most critical roles the F-16 has played is in defending Ukrainian skies, proving their worth in intercepting incoming Russian missiles and drones. In one example, a Ukrainian-operated F-16 shot down 6 Russian cruise missiles in a single sortie. The pilot even used the aircraft's main cannon to destroy 2 of these missiles, showcasing both the skill of the trained Ukrainian pilots and the platform's versatility. This ability to take down incoming threats is vital, given Russia's daily bombardment of Ukrainian cities and infrastructure with drones and missiles. While Ukraine has been defending itself using Soviet-era jets like the MiG-29 and Su-27, these aircraft were never designed for modern air combat or missile interception. The F-16, with its advanced radar systems and missile capabilities, is far more effective in this role. Since the start of the war, Ukraine has repeatedly emphasized the need for Western fighter jets to counter Russia's air power. Having more F-16 jets in its arsenal means that Ukraine can improve its operational flexibility in the skies, switching from purely defensive to offensive missions at a much higher pace with overall bigger efficiency and with less risk. With the continuous degrading of the Russian air defense network through a massive operation destroying hundreds of Russian launchers, radars and electronic warfare systems over the past months, the increased quantity of F-16 fighter jets gained the freedom to be used aggressively in offensive roles as well. They were recently involved in airstrikes on Russian military positions, infrastructure and headquarters in Kursk, dealing significant damage and sabotaging Russian efforts, working in tandem with Ukrainian MiGs. Iran has reportedly ordered its military personnel to leave Yemen and is pulling back its support for the Houthis amid extensive US airstrikes on the rebel group. The British Telegraph newspaper cited a senior Iranian official saying that Tehran is scaling back its support of its regional proxies to focus on the direct threats emanating from the US administration. A senior Iranian official told the newspaper that the move was intended to avoid a direct confrontation with the United States in the event that an Iranian soldier is killed. The withdrawal marks a notable shift in Iran's regional strategy as it reduces support for proxy forces to prioritize what it sees as direct threats from Washington. The view here is that the Houthis will not be able to survive and are living their final months or even days, so there is no point in keeping them on our list, a senior Iranian official said. They were part of a chain that relied on Nasrallah and Assad, and keeping only one part of that chain for the future makes no sense. The official continued, referring respectively to the former leaders of the Hezbollah terror group and Syria. The Telegraph report came amid a US aerial campaign against the Houthis that has seen near daily strikes in rebel-held areas of Yemen since March the 15th. The strikes are aimed at stopping the Iran-backed group from attacking commercial shipping in solidarity with the Palestinian terrorist organization Hamas. The Houthis were acting in support of Hamas and in solidarity with the Palestinians alongside Hezbollah and other members of the Iran-led Axis of Resistance. They have consistently linked their attacks to Israel's war in Gaza, saying they will stand down when that war ends. At first, the Houthis aimed their projectiles at Israeli territory, but when those attempts failed, they switched to striking Israel-linked cargo ships in the Red Sea. Since then, their maritime campaign has expanded to disrupt traffic in one of the world's vital commercial waterways. The US and other Western navies began escorting merchant vessels, leading to exchanges of fire with the Houthis at sea and US bombing of Houthi-linked sites in Yemen. The Houthis control approximately 28% of Yemen's territory, primarily in the north and west, the most densely populated areas. They also hold long stretches of the western coastline, as well as most Yemeni islands in the Red Sea,